Hello everyone, and welcome back to our Story Corner. Today we have a timeless classic about a little wooden puppet who dreamed of becoming a real boy. Let's dive into the magical tale of Pinocchio. Once upon a time, in a cozy little workshop, lived a kind old carpenter named Geppetto. He was a master at his craft, carving beautiful things from wood. One day, feeling a bit lonely, he decided to carve a puppet in the shape of a boy. He worked tirelessly, shaping the arms, legs, and a cheerful little face. When he was finished, he looked at his creation with love and named him Pinocchio. That night, as Geppetto looked up at the twinkling stars, he made a heartfelt wish. "Oh, I wish this little puppet could be a real boy," he whispered into the quiet night. His wish was so pure and strong that it traveled all the way to a kind blue fairy. Seeing the goodness in Geppetto's heart, she floated down to his workshop. With a gentle tap of her magic wand, she brought the wooden puppet to life. Pinocchio blinked his painted eyes and wiggled his wooden limbs. Geppetto was overjoyed. His wish had come true. But the fairy had a condition. She told Pinocchio to become a real flesh and blood boy. "You must prove yourself to be brave, truthful, and unselfish. You must always be a good boy." Geppetto loved Pinocchio with all his heart and sent him to school just like any other boy. But Pinocchio was quite mischievous and a little bit naughty. He found it hard to always tell the truth. And a funny thing would happen whenever he told a lie. His little wooden nose would start to grow longer and longer with every fib. He would always promise Geppetto, "I'll be a good boy tomorrow, I promise." But his promises were often forgotten. One sunny morning, on his way to school, Pinocchio was distracted by the sounds of a traveling circus. His new friends convinced him that the circus was much more fun than school. Forgetting his promise to his father, Pinocchio sold his schoolbooks and ran off to join the circus. At first it was exciting, but soon he began to feel homesick. He missed Geppetto terribly and realized he had made a big mistake. As he tried to find his way home, he heard some shocking news. People were saying that his dear father Geppetto had gone out to sea to search for him and had been swallowed by a monstrous whale. Without a second thought, Pinocchio knew what he had to do. He bravely dove into the vast ocean, determined to find his father. He searched and searched until, just like Geppetto, he too was swallowed by the giant whale. Inside the whale's dark, cavernous belly, Pinocchio was scared. But then he saw a faint light. As he got closer, he couldn't believe his eyes. There was Geppetto, safe and sound. They hugged each other tightly, so happy to be reunited in such an unlikely place. Together, they came up with a clever plan to escape. They started tickling the inside of the whale's stomach. The tickling made the whale feel very strange, and with a giant ACHOO, the whale sneezed, and out they flew, landing safely back in the water. They swam back to shore and made their way home. The blue fairy had been watching all along. She was so impressed with Pinocchio's bravery and the love he showed for his father. She saw that he had learned his lesson and had a good heart. That night, as Pinocchio slept, the fairy worked her magic once more. When he woke up the next morning, he wasn't a wooden puppet anymore. He was a real flesh-and-blood boy. From that day on, Pinocchio was always a good, honest, and kind boy. He went to school every day and made his father proud. Geppetto and Pinocchio lived happily ever after. What a wonderful story about love, courage, and the importance of being true to yourself. Thank you so much for listening today. If you enjoyed this story, please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for more amazing tales. See you next time.